They say, okay, I'm going to go into a doctor's office and it's going to be a while. And he or she's going to come in and sit down and say, you have cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody, I mean, like, you can't live in this world that we're in right now where you go, oh. What is that like?
Well, I've had that 3 times in my life. I had a granddaughter that was diagnosed with leukemia at 2. In fact, that's the reason I got out of my education. I happened to be walking into the office ready to sign my contract for the following year. And at that point, my wife had called me and said, your granddaughter has leukemia. And so I handed the contract back and I says, I'm not signing this. I'm retiring. So I quit teaching so that I could be available for my granddaughter.
How old was she?
She was 2.5.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Little cutie.
And yeah, she's happily living her life now at 16. So
oh, that's good.
Yeah. And ask your booker about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which they say you will always have, but it probably won't kill you. But
that's reassuring.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah, and so I'm still here. So.
So I mean, talk about DEFCON 1, right?
Yeah.
when you get stage 4, I mean, if I understand right, stage 4 is you've got this and you'll never get rid of it, and you will always have it, but we think we can kind of stave it off for a while. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it ever roll back? Do they ever say, hey, wait, we were wrong. It's now stage 1. Congratulations. No.
Well, yeah, the stages, there's many reasons why they come up with these stages. Mm-hmm. Okay. And some of it is the severity of it in one place, and the others, the severity of it because it's in several places in your body. And that was what mine was. So, and then the next time was my wife. She thought she had just a sore stomach for a while, and it ended up being cancer. And so 6 months after she found out, she was gone. So
what cancer?
It was a tumor on the spine, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and it was just at a point where they just couldn't alleviate it all. So she says, I know where I'm going. Don't worry about it. So
and sometimes people who have these say that they never really have pain, and some people have terrible pain.
Yeah. She was the hospice nurse came in one time and she says, well, before I go, is there anything else you need? And she says, I don't know. I've never died before. So she had a good attitude about it, but it was tough. We were 3 weeks away from our 50th anniversary. So
I visited a friend of mine in hospice, and she had ataxia, which means that her brain was fine, but it was locked in a system that just couldn't communicate.
Sure.
So it affected her speech. I looked at the menu that they gave, and it's just like every day it just repeated, like every 2 days.
Yeah.
I said, this menu seems to be a little bit repetitive. And she says, it doesn't seem to be a problem around here. So she too had that. And I had a chance, Alan, to be at her funeral. And I said, I once went on one of these challenges where you face your fears. And I don't like heights. I was to climb a phone pole and stand on a phone pole and then jump off the phone pole. Of course, you're all rigged up. It's all safe, but it doesn't feel that safe. Well, I didn't realize that there were 2 stages to that. So I'm climbing all the way up until I get to where I actually have to stand on a post about like this big around, and it's wobbling. And I'm not that athletic, and I couldn't even get on. Anyway, I just gave up and jumped off. Well, that was the first stage. The other stage was that a friend of mine who's quite athletic was able to easily stand on that post, but then he couldn't jump. He just couldn't do it. At that moment, he couldn't do it. And the person who came after him said, "Oh, I get it." And so they did it all in once. They just jumped and jumped. So he taught them how to jump. And the reason I say that is that woman taught me how to jump, right? I saw her leap with joy into the arms of Christ. I was paying attention.
Yep.